Happy birthday, Retel.
Yeah, God, just say it right
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
now.
Happy birthday.
You're a Jew.
What is going on, people? Welcome. Welcome. We are back for episode 73 of the Top Tier Podcast.
73.
Yeah, you missed like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I missed
like,
a few, eh?
I know, man.
recordings.
Where the hell have you been? We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Retel.
With me today, Lou Tixon.
Hey.
Esports Money. Beyrudy.
Esports
yes.
money.
Yeah, we changed up
that
the name
Lucas
a little bit.
money.
And last and least, Billy.
I thought you were going to change the...
I know. Well, it needs to come naturally, dude. And you just threw me under the bus. You talked all kinds of shit. You think I'm going to give you a promotion right now?
I'm
Promotion.
Yeah, that's what it is,
There's
dude.
promotion.
promoting me. Promoting
There's
me.
a
But
real
I'm
tier
fine.
list on the Top Tier Podcast.
Dude, I'm top tier already, man.
Yeah, get
My
it,
name is
Billy.
Brendan. You can, of course, find me on the YouTubes at youtube.com/Retel Factor. You can find this show, the Top Tier Podcast, at youtube.com.
Who's the fifth
Slash-
guest in the middle?
Top Tier Podcast.
Whoa! Whoa! What the hell is that?
What's going on?
Oh, shit!
It's okay. In
What
the
up,
YouTube
heroes?
version, that won't even be there.
Oh.
Shout out
I'll,
to Hero.
I'll get it fixed. Yeah, well, this is episode 73 of the Top Tier Podcast. Very special occasion. The most important day of the year. This is Retel's birthday. So it is time. It is time to celebrate.
The most important thing of the year. Retel's birthday.
We're all. It seems like we're all like in captivity here. Like, like
I'm forcing you guys to be
birthday.
here
We
against
like
your
poor.
fucking will.
Like the worst thing too. I feel so bad about it because I just came from work too. I wanted to buy Retel beer for this, and like Retel had to provide the beer on his own fucking birthday, and that's not right, man. I feel very sad about
he about
this.
to pour us the beer too.
Yeah, he's about to pour us the beer,
Well,
but.
in all fairness, I actually didn't pay for it. My girlfriend did.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
it's okay.
So bless your girlfriend, because damn, I felt really bad and guilty actually for just.
You know, Barry, you want to
coming
pour the
late.
beers, dog?
Yeah, I'll do it. I got you, dogs.
You're gonna mess up.
Give me some head.
Yeah, I got you, head, man. I got you.
We're talking about this. Apparently, you're supposed to have
You're
head.
Yeah,
to
you're
have
supposed to have head.
I start
You're supposed to
turning
start
You
with
should,
the head.
you should get some head every so
Well,
often.
I mean, it's my birthday.
Oh shit! Get some head. Get some head.
You touched my head.
Not enough head, man. That's not enough.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, and this is also the OG Top Tier crew, which
Sad, dude.
when
That fucking...
Sadie. Sadie.
It's supposed to be more head than this.
Thanks, brother.
It's
What
okay.
kind
It's okay.
yo that
of bitch ass head?
You know, in North,
there's supposed to be more head than this. There's none, dude.
there's a little bit. There's a little bit.
There's the camera here. Look at that. Look at that head.
That looks like apple
You know,
juice.
it's funny
dog.
because we're talking about how in North.
Just pour it like straight up for
Straight-
Retel. See if it works.
Yo, whoa.
Is this enough head for you, Retel? Is this enough head, dog?
Oh,
It's
my.
like
This is all you get for your birthday.
You get the most head, dude. It's your birthday.
He compensates everyone else's head.
Yeah, just pour it in, dude.
It was the best one, man. It's the best pour.
Oh my god.
Right now. It's so funny. Oh my god. You know,
Oh, dude.
it's funny. Yeah, I think we talked about it in the podcast.
Oh, my God.
Retel, you can have more after this. Don't worry.
All right, cheers,
guys,
boys.
cheers.
Cheers.
Goombas.
In North America, how head is not preferred, but I'm sorry. It's a one-time thing.
In North America, head is not preferred.
Oh my god, dude. You're just getting your fucking shit everywhere, man.
Fuck, man. Fuck. As we're all drinking. Oh, shit. Oh, God.
In North America, head is not preferred.
I'm sorry for people who are just listening to the audio of this.
That's so good.
We apologize.
The worst.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Worst
guys.
audio ever.
I encourage you to go and look at the video.
Yeah.
So you can see everyone's fucking reaction. Okay, so
That was super funny.
Yeah, it's too good, man.
Retels. Go ahead.
so it's my birthday. Okay,
Yeah.
28 years old.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're a Scorpio, right?
I'm Sagittarius.
Gay, right?
When does a Scorpio line cut
And,
off?
yeah.
I think I'm like really close to the cutoff.
Oh, okay.
I don't know exact. But anyways, so you know, I'm not a big like I don't encourage anyone to go out of their way and get me like crazy elaborate expensive gifts or anything like that. So I told Criselda, my girlfriend, I don't want you to buy me anything, I want you to make me something. And she particularly I wanted her to paint me something. And so she painted me a picture.
Are you naked?
No.
Damn.
Oh. So she painted me a picture.
Damn it.
She presented it to me last night, and it's the second Mona Lisa, dude. It's really something. You guys ready to see it?
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
It's like being serious. Or...
Are you guys fucking ready?
What
to
is
see
it of? What is it of? Is it you?
You'll see.
It's actually him naked.
It's,
I wish it's. Please.
oh my god.
Hold on. You guys ready for this shit?
Yeah, I'm putting my eyes right now.
Oh my god.
It's pretty fucking
What
good,
the
man.
hell? Rettel, man, that's pretty solid, dude. You look more like
Guatemalan. Right?
yeah, you look more like Jose Sanchez, but you look it's good. It's a good painting, man. I don't know what's up with the MLG colors, dog. Is this you going esports too? What's going on?
Brandego Rojas
Yeah.
right there, man.
No, that's pretty amazing though.
So
That's it's great.
Shout out to Criselda.
Yo, she made your beard like extra Jewish too, man. Holy God. Like that is
It look a little nappy to me. I don't know, man.
okay.
Yeah,
That's great. No, that's awesome, man.
Well, we have found a new home for it.
Yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah.
So he had that shit ready, man. Like,
As-
just had that tack right there.
As
Oh,
if
yeah,
that
yeah.
camera doesn't get enough Rettel, now
You
there's
get-
double
Is
Rettel.
this from like? Was there a photo she?
So yeah, you guys
Used-
want to see the picture that
Yeah,
she
I do.
based it
Yeah,
off
yeah.
of?
Is that with the body or without the body?
What?
Show me your
Yeah,
photo.
Billy's really into seeing you naked
know.
right now. Billy's on that right now.
He's on a mission.
Yeah, he's on a mission.
Just for the viewers, you know, so we can shut this shit down right now.
Okay.
You know what though? Yeah, the comparison is really good because in that picture your beard looks mad Jewish. Like yeah, it looks like
Also, your hair looks like it's like a fade too, like a straight up like.
It's just the lighting in that picture.
no. In terms of comparison, it's really good.
Can I see this real quick?
Come on, it's pretty fucking legit.
That's you're looking at like a flat top going on.
Yeah. No,
That's legit, dude.
that's amazing. Yeah, your girlfriend's actually really good at drawing, and I saw the Destiny portrait that she made
Well,
about a year ago
everything
now.
on this wall here is
Yeah, that's
done by
right
her
there.
at this
I
point.
didn't even realize it, so you guys can see it.
Including the Millennium.
The Backstreet Boys. That one's just out of frame.
Just like instead of being Indo and white, you're like Latino and black.
Yeah.
So it looks like.
Dude,
So it's
you made
great.
me spell.
It's all
I'm sorry, dog. Mine's a little. I'm a little wet too.
A little moist.
You know what I mean?
in North America. They don't care about the head. Is that what you said?
yeah. It's true. They don't want it. They don't want any part of it.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. So Lou, man, it's been a little while since we've had you on the show.
Yes.
What have you been up to, dude?
Well, I was doing a show. I was doing a play called The Vancouver Gold Dust that my friend wrote.
Good fucking play.
Billy came to see it, and yeah, he. Why don't you tell us your thoughts, Billy?
Dude, it was deep. It was like a very, very, very heavy play. Like it wasn't like you went on your usual upbeat, like your plays that you like you're like the comedy act. No, you were like a legit fucking PTSD Vietnamese kid.
Yeah.
I'm not even fucking joking. It was it was hitting people hard, man. People were like, tears were flowing. Everything. It's about it was a deep one, man.
Because every play I see you in, you're always like some goofy fucking character.
No, this time, man.
But this one is really kind of.
Yeah, he Lou did a good job, even on the Vietnamese accent, man. I was like, damn, that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Especially when we always make fun of it because
Yeah.
like you were hitting all like the major part, like the I don't know what's it called? The enunciations of the.
Yeah,
Shit like that, right?
Whoa, hold on. Cut it out, man.
Oh, red flag, red flag.
It's okay. Billy's part Vietnamese.
I'm
Yeah,
Vietnamese,
he's
so
allowed. He's
He's
allowed,
allowed.
guys.
He's got
Oh
the free
shit!
pass.
So,
He's
So-
allowed to make fun of his own
Listen,
shit.
I do want a 10-hour loop of Billy doing that for me, guys. So please, this is
Somebody
these are small things that I ask for on this podcast. all right?
DM Beirut.
DM
Yes.
Bear.
Send
Don't
it
put
to
that
DM.
shit on.
Don't put it online. Just send him a DM.
Yeah.
Slide in the
From me.
DM.
Slide into
Touch
his
himself for
DM.
that shit,
Like-
man. But no, it was a good play. Like, it was a great play. Like I learned something about the no, but
I'm
serious
sorry.
shit, serious shit
I'm
right now.
sorry. This is serious.
It's about the Sikh cult, what happened during the this was like a Sikh how do I say what's the best word to put it Sikh
Community? I don't know.
yeah the Sikh community the Sikh history
Sikh people?
yeah Sikh people so I'm like damn like it was deep man a lot of
Yeah,
people
man.
were tears were coming like, it was a very serious play.
How many shows did you guys end up doing?
We did 15 shows
15. And how many days?
in 15 days. We had a
Oh,
show.
damn.
Like we had one day off for 2 weeks, basically.
I'm really upset that I missed it, man. But like, how long was the play?
It was an hour, and then we had a talk back right afterwards where people could ask questions,
questions?
and comment and discuss, and it was really good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Everyone was amazing in the play like everyone was good
Yeah.
It's cool. I got to play like a Vietnamese kid, refugee with PTSD.
Yeah.
With some real shit, man.
some real fucking shit
Yeah, it got real.
That's like a
every night.
challenging role, right?
It is. Yeah.
It was.
That
was.
sounds rough. Like
That
I would never want to be anywhere.
It was, yeah. Like there were definitely like days I'd go home and it would be like hard to shake.
Yeah.
Just like kind of getting into that.
it was raw emotion
Um,
man it was like tears
But that's like having like the talkbacks afterward would be nice sometimes because then it gave me time or like and when someone would maybe say something funny and it, kind of like just like let me kind of cool down. But yeah, it's a heavy show, but it was good. It's a really good show. It's like
Right on, man.
it's like a short show, but it's just packed. Like every scene had like something.
Something heavy.
Yeah, like
Some shit.
the very first scene is like the only one that's like light and
Like-
fun and funny, and then it just starts to get like boom, 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 boom.
it just builds on
It
top
just
of
like
each
hits
other.
you with shit.
Until the very end. The very end was like it was a nice. It just wrapped everything up.
Mhm.
It just made me feel like
Yeah.
wholesome at the end.
So do you get like, so you've been doing acting for a long time now. Do you still get like nervous, especially when going up on stage and shit?
Yeah, always.
Really?
I don't think that ever goes away. But you just kind of learn how to use it or learn how to work through it, you know. And once you start, like once I get on stage and I start doing my thing, then it's gone. But it's always like the pre-show jitters, right? Like that's
Right.
like that's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like, that day that you guys came to Soul Samurai in particular. Actually, that day, like I was so like, man, I was so nervous for some reason. I guess because like all my friends were there, like
Yeah.
I want them to,
My
that,
opinion's very important to you.
yeah. No, it is. You know, I don't want my. It is. We joke, but it is. It is.
Yeah.
Retel's, good guy.
Good, not great. but Good.
Passable.
Flop you. But yeah, like when your friends are there, obviously, like you want them to see that you're doing some good shit, right?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
like you want your friends to think you're good at what you do too. So it's like sitting. I remember being
No, I get
backstage,
that.
and like because we had our friend Jarrell was in the show too, and like at the top of the show, like we were waiting on each wing, so I had Jarrell across from me, I could see him, and I had nobody else with me, so like we would always just kind of dance in the backstage. It was like 90s hip hop was like the pre-show music,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we just try to get rid of that nervous energy with each other. But that day in particular, I was just like, it just wouldn't go away. Just wouldn't go away. I was like, fuck. But then once once you get on stage, then it's gone.
I wonder, being a live actor, I've always wondered, like, how much do you improvise or like get to improvise? When you're really in the heat of a scene, whether it's emotional, I'm sure it's a lot less in a more serious play. But like in comedy, I'm sure that there's some improvisations and there's probably some things that happened, obviously in one show that didn't happen in another. Like, how often does that kind of go on?
It depends. It depends on who I guess is putting on the show and if they like really encourage that.
Oh,
But otherwise, it's only really ever going to happen if someone makes a mistake or someone
Right.
forgets something. Then you have to kind of you should by that point know the scene well enough that you know what's supposed to happen and what's important in the scene, so you can kind of bring it back
Yeah.
with your improv.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, theater in general it's so script heavy, right?
Mhm, yeah.
As opposed to film, when you get to hang out on set and you get to just riff with each other, and then you have that kind of freedom to just try shit because if,
Yeah,
if it
there's
doesn't
no
work,
risk.
well,
Yeah.
we will
You're
put it in the
just-
film, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But on stage, you want to do the things that you kind of rehearsed and then just go with the flow. And then if someone messes something up or forgets something, then you can improv and do that.
Yeah, Hero has a pretty good question. I've always
Does-
wondered this too. Does imagining the crowd naked ever work?
I will try that next time. I've never actually tried that.
You just pop a boner in the middle. In the middle of the scene. What the fuck?
Oh shit!
And so I mean, I've seen you like do some like shit on film, like where you did some short films. So like, does like, do you get more nervous for like a live audience? I would imagine, right?
Yes. Yeah. Because if you fuck up, you fuck up, and everyone sees, and you can't. There's no fixing it.
Yeah. You kind
know?
of have to like fix it
Yeah.
on the go.
If
and
you fuck
shit.
up on set, then it's like, oh, okay, let's just take it back.
Just retake.
Let's do it again.
We'll
You
do
know.
it live. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I imagine like
live.
it's just got to be a different feeling. Also, I don't know, as a performer, like doing it in front of a live audience.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like doing a live show is always like super exhilarating.
Yeah, it's got to
Right.
be like exciting though,
And
right?
it's just like feeding off the energy of the crowd.
Yeah, because you get the reaction, you get all of that shit, right?
It's really great. I mean, you've done stuff in front of crowds like your shack casting and stuff. When the crowd gets hype, you get hype, right?
Oh,
like
yeah,
that's,
for
like,
sure.
there's always that energy that you can feed off of people. You know.
Yeah, and esports we're slowly getting to that point, even in Street Fighter comedy, where we are starting to stream the commentary to the crowd, and yeah, it's definitely
I've
it
noticed that
changes everything. Yeah, it makes it
Yeah.
that much more fun.
Yeah.
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 Bear
there
man. So sorry, go ahead.
I was just like there were times during this show that like because the crowds are always so different, right? Like sometimes they were very Indian heavy, sometimes they were like the age or like Indian people who were around during that time and lived it. So sometimes they would just be like super just like straight. And then like start crying, right? And it would just be like this kind of solemn vibe. But sometimes we'd have like a younger show, and then they'd be more kind of like receptive and like, not receptive, but they'd be more reactive. And then like just like the difference between energy then would just feed like our performance, and it would just like change the shape of the show, right? So that's live theater.
That's amazing.
What were you saying?
I was saying like Bear, like you've done a lot of commentary.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just curious, like, what's out of all the matches you commentated, which one sticks out most in your mind?
question.
Pepe Dye versus Punko.
Canada Cup?
Easily, yeah.
Was that
Canada Cup
2015?
2014. Yeah, that's number one for sure.
Because
In my heart.
you've commentated Evo, you've done some big matches. You
I've
did
been-
Justin Wong versus Daigo.
Yeah, I've
you
been
did-
lucky enough to do a lot of really cool matches
Yeah.
for sure, like really, really awesome ones. But I think the one that I always like go back to, and even me and Mike, whenever we see each other, we always talk about is Pepe Dye versus Punko, and just that whole tournament, because it was, in some ways, like not to put it on like Canada Cup 2014 was probably like the very poverty tournament, right? A lot of people came out. But
Yeah.
we didn't fly out a lot of people. Like Daigo wasn't there. I think that was the first Canada Cup that Daigo wasn't at.
Oh, wow.
The only people we flew out was like Smug, Pepe Dye, Punko, and there's a lot of the Canada Cup people. Maybe very few other players, but it was a very, compared to what Canada Cup is usually, where it's super international and it's like where everyone comes out. Now, especially because it's part of the CPT and it's at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's
Everyone's like,
to
that's
it.
like one
Yeah.
of the last chances for people
Yeah.
to qualify and shit.
It's the scariest tournament for sure to enter. Like if you make it out of pools, you should pat yourself on the back 100%.
It's
Yeah.
full of just fucking killers, like amazing players.
Exactly. But that tournament was kind of like the one where it was just kind of like, whoa, I don't know, man. Like this is not looking good for Canada Cup, but it ended up being like the best tournament. Yeah. Like by a long shot. So, yeah.
Right on, man. What else is new with you guys, man? What else is going on? Bear, it was your birthday just last week.
Yes, it was my birthday.
There's all kinds of birthdays. There's Whitney's birthday.
I know, it's just
like,
November,
I like how
man.
the three of us were just like back to back to back.
November. What is it? What do they people say about November people? Apparently, like 'cause it's
February, baby.
February,
9
because that's
months.
the baby maker. That's
When
right.
you were
yeah.
the 14th?
I was the 18th. Yeah, so I was like, I was
Perfect. Valentine's.
Valentine's. Oh shit, man! Damn.
It's true.
You
It's
gotta
true.
imagine your parents banging and shit. This
Oh,
is getting
dude,
real.
why you gotta take
On the-
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we're talking about here, man.
That's Billy's plan.
That's it.
Valentine's Day, have some November babies.
I make a Scorpio real quick.
Same birthday as Retel.
Yeah, it was really good. Just had a very, I wanted to have a very small, intimate dinner. Retel, you came out too. I just kept it very tiny.
Call me up, man.
Yo, to be honest, it was so last minute too, Billy. Like it was literally like six. Was it six of us? or something like that.
It was like, dude, it was funny. It's like, I swear, I think I was the only one there who's like not from your household.
Yes, exactly.
Because that's
yeah.
how small it was.
Yeah, that's how small. I just wanted
Yeah,
it very, very tiny. Because if I did it a week before, I was definitely gonna bring you.
Oh yeah,
and
of course. I know.
everyone else.
I
But
was
I was
like
like,
bugging you.
don't
I
worry,
was
Billy.
bugging Rettel too. I'm like,
Get
yo,
prior.
Rettel, how the bear
Yeah.
fucking call me for this fucking birthday.
But we just had Korean barbecue and
We did all you
thing.
can eat Korean barbecue.
Yes. And then we went back, and for some reason, Boris put on The Room.
We tried to watch The Room.
I mean, I've seen it before, like a few times, but you guys just couldn't do it. You know, the whole household just gave up halfway, like less than halfway through.
Like, you also got to keep in mind, like,
Yeah.
this is after, like, I don't think any of us were feeling too great. I was getting drowsy, dude. We just had all you can eat Korean barbecue. We ordered, like,
All that meat.
we ordered a bunch of big boy Asahis when
Yes.
we were there.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
had a bunch of sake. And
You guys got a lot of
we were,
freaking
we were
liquor.
feeling
yeah.
good, dude. I was rolling, bouncing off the walls. Like, I was like, okay, let's watch this fucking show.
But no, the nights like that, even the night when you guys first did your podcast and we all went to have the Korean chicken place,
Oh,
fried
Ajuka,
chicken.
dude.
That place was amazing. But I'm just like, I love those are nights that I live for. You know, just having just these small kind of gatherings and just kind of a time to catch up.
For sure.
And that's exactly what I kind of wanted to. I don't want to plan anything big, but
Yeah,
20s
I'm like the same way, dude. I don't like drawing too much attention to my birthday and shit. Billy, you're the
Yeah.
same way. I know you are, because you don't even announce it. You don't have it on your social media.
yeah.
You know, the only way we know is like through like your girlfriend, like your fiance.
Yeah, and I'm sure even when we were younger too, I'm sure we've all had like really big birthday
Yeah,
parties
sure.
before too, like with over 25 people or something. But at that point, you don't even get to like interact with everyone. You know, everyone kind of sticks within different groups, and you're just kind of having fun. But you know,
luckily we're all part of the same group.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, I
So-
mean, yeah, this is the biggest thing that I'm going to be doing for my birthday.
don't worry,
it,
tomorrow
man.
we're gonna go out somewhere.
This is it. Yeah, we'll go get some drinks tomorrow. But
Yeah,
yeah, this is pretty much it, man.
It's got to be after climbing.
Yeah, at some point, birthdays are just like kind of like whatever, right?
Just- yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
Just want to care like with people.
You just want to hang out with the people that you know.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
It's just like cool.
Same with Christmas and everything.
yeah. I love Christmas.
Christmas is dope, man.
Man. Yeah, I love Christmas.
You don't want to see
You know,
too many
But, yeah.
people. Like,
But it's like, yeah, like
it'd
I
be
don't
like
care so
different-
much about getting presents anymore, right?
Yeah,
But it's
just-
like
Yeah,
I'd love
yeah.
to, like doing a gift exchange is always dope.
Yeah, I
you
love
know.
the music and the ugly ass sweaters and the
Oh,
colors
no,
and
yeah.
just something about Christmas.
Dude,
is
Dude, like
the
just-
our
lights,
Christmas
man,
parties
Christmas
every year,
lights.
man, they're so fun. Like there's only like it's very exclusive. There's only like it's just like us and like our significant others and whatever, right? And it's I don't know, man. It's an amazing.
We usually
time.
play
Our
board games.
significant and others.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking-
Board games.
Thank you,
Board
thank you.
Everyone always catching you saying shit.
You're always picking apart.
I always
every
call you out on
sentence.
it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I got you. Happy birthday, dog.
So Lou, man, with all this acting and shit, what else is like? What have you had time to play any games? Have you seen Justice League?
I have not, man. I
It's-
saw Thor. I
saw-
was able
you
to
saw-
see.
Yeah, you saw Thor.
I
You
saw.
saw-
You source Thor.
You
man.
saw. You saw.
Leave me alone, dude.
Yeah.
You see sore. You sore.
That's what I said. Man.
You sore.
So sorry.
Too
Yeah,
much
I saw,
into that
I saw
Vietnamese
Thor.
character,
I
man.
saw Thor, man.
What you think?
I thought it was alright. It was
Alright.
fun. I mean, it was fun, right? It was fun. I didn't think it was. I don't think it was worthy of all the praise it got. It was definitely funny. You
Yeah.
know, and it's definitely. I don't
It was,
even.
I
like,
felt-
it was
I
like
felt
a
the same.
comedy
Yeah.
first. It was almost like it was almost too much, you know. But I mean, it was still. I still
Yeah,
enjoyed
It's
it.
It
like
was
once you just kind of like you just. It's like, okay, this is what we're watching. And then you
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
just dive in, and it's
just
fun,
get
and
on
I
board
enjoyed
with
the
it.
shit out of it. But like, I wouldn't say it was like a great movie or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
the
took-
big blue rock guy totally stole the fucking
Yeah,
show.
that's the
I mean,
director,
Yeah,
man.
he
Taika
was the
Waititi.
director.
Taika Waititi.
He's,
Yeah.
that
The
guy's
Kiwi,
so
man.
funny. Yeah, he's hilarious.
He always puts himself in every movie he does. I believe he's
Right.
always
Yeah.
an actor in
Yeah.
every single fucking movie he
Yeah.
does. And,
Why not, man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
why
a
the
He's
funny
fuck
calling
dude.
the shots, man. Why
No one
not?
else is gonna give him a part.
Yeah.
We might as well give him.
Like,
But that's the reality,
Yeah.
right? Like a lot of these actors got to write stuff for themselves.
Yeah.
And he's like he's always like, wait, what is he like? Pacific Islander? It's hard for like
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
to get cast unless you're the fucking Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that I'm kind of getting sick of the Marvel formula in terms of just comedy all the time, and this one kind of took it times 5.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping Black Panther is going to be a little bit more of a serious
Yeah.
It looks
film.
like
I was,
it is.
I was
It looks
hoping
like it is.
Doctor Strange was going to be that, but
No, yeah, no,
that was
I
still a
didn't like Doctor
comedy,
Strange.
sadly. But
Just because he threw up.
That's
during
because you
that
got
part.
dizzy.
Yeah.
And shit. That's because you bitched
you got
out, dude.
queasy. Yeah,
It's because I had to. I missed like 10 minutes because I was in the
The
back.
most crucial 10 minutes.
did you actually have to throw up, Retel?
I didn't throw up. Did you not hear this story?
I mean,
We heard this story like.
yeah,
4
you've told me
times.
I
about.
told it on the podcast, but
yeah,
it was
you
like.
I didn't know you
throw
went to
up.
the washroom.
No, dude,
Oh.
I had to step out. It's because
Oh.
I'm squeamish. I can't stand like explicit violence and people's mangled fucking hands.
That's
and
so
shit.
shocking to me because you play all these horror games like Outlast and all
VR
this shit
too,
like
man,
that.
like,
Yeah, and you
it's
play
like-
like
But
play
it
them
was
all
also
the time.
it was the fucking the D box tossing me around.
Oh.
So the D box
There's
is there
always some sort of excuse, all right?
tossing me around,
First of
fucking
all,
up my equilibrium and
He
shit.
did P90X with you guys and threw up afterwards, and then he blames it.
Two
He
times,
blames it
two
on
times.
The pre-workout, man.
Yeah, he blames it on the pre-work. There's always some shit,
Oh,
Rettel.
that pre-workout was no good, man. Both times I threw up, both times I took that fucking pre-workout.
And you didn't even try for a third.
Yeah, it's because I threw up both times.
Okay, you're gonna do a third test. Just take the pre-workout and don't work out.
And then you gotta work out and then not take the
I don't have that pre-workout anymore.
Oh damn!
Then
That
do
was
the
like 4 years ago.
then you gotta do the workout and see if you throw up still.
Yeah, let's do it right now. Well, not right now.
Oh my god.
Yo,
Maybe tomorrow.
you know
We'll
me,
set
I
a
ain't
date.
doing no workout.
Yeah.
I mean, you did it.
Yeah.
You did it before
It's true.
twice.
Yeah,
I gotta commend you for coming back after you puked though. Like, that's legit.
You gotta do
You
it
know
one more
what's
time.
funny too is like, so the first time was I thought it was just like this freak fucking incident, right? But then it happened. But then it happened the second time, and we went out for probably the worst thing you could have post-workout, dude.
Dennis!
We went to fucking Denny's. And like, I'm sitting in the booth at Denny's, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, I'm telling you, because the pre-workout was so strong, I guess I'm just such a puss. I couldn't fucking handle it. Like, my hands are tingling, like, I'm just, like, fucking, it just, like,
You're like this. I
nothing-
remember in the stall. I mean, in the booth, you're like,
Oh,
Like,
that's
yo,
rough.
and we're like,
I know the
okay,
feeling of
Rettel?
wanting to throw up and like, yeah, you have to like calm yourself down.
you order your food and you're like, give me a second, guys. And you just take a bolt to the
And you know
washroom.
what's funny, too, is because we were sitting right by the washroom, too. Did you guys hear me when I was in there?
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, we heard.
I remember
yeah.
Lou saying, "Oh man, poor guy."
Yeah, we heard that.
Exact words, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I just started cracking up, man. I didn't give a fuck.
Shit. He's like,
And then Lou's
Yo,
like, oh no, oh no. Yeah, was the vomit projectile?
It was a projectile, no.
It was just like,
You were a-
Projectiles like the ones that you don't, that like sneak up on you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we
That
mentioned
come
it
up
last
with-
that's when they
podcast.
go fucking straight up.
I didn't like.
Dude, you were Boomer from Left 4 Dead,
I
dog.
wasn't like reptile.
You
too.
were, yo, we talked about this last time. But yeah, Rettel, we love you, dude. Don't worry. It's all good. It's okay. We just don't do P90X again.
You guys just love telling stories about when I fucking am sick. and
It's
I
your birthday,
fucking
happy
man.
birthday, man.
Yeah. You know, actually, we had a good conversation about Rettel too last time. On my birthday, actually, when we were talking about how Rettel and some of the things he used to say back in high school. And you know, there's one podcast where I should sit out and Boris should get on with you guys because you guys were closer with Rettel during high school.
Tell your favorite Rettel stories.
And just tell your favorite Rettel stories. Just tell the stories of how much Rettel has changed as a person and some of the things he used to say.
In a lot of ways, he's changed. But in a lot of ways, he's still
Yeah.
I used to hate this bitch right here, man. Fuck.
Hate this bitch.
Yeah, legit.
Hate is a strong
motherfucker
word,
right here.
man.
No.
You
I
hate-
hate people, man. I legit hate on people. And I fucking hated Rettel, man.
What?
When was this? What grade was
I
this?
was in grade 9, 10, 11.
Okay, so Burnaby South. Oh, and 11, Burn Creek too.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah.
in the beginning of Burn Creek, it was a little
When did it
bitch.
change and why?
I was a little bitch. Yeah, I need you to elaborate.
You were you had your braces and your glasses
And you were, like,
your
just
baseball
so-
cap, and you were like really scrawny.
Yeah,
and-
and you were so arrogant, and I'm like, fuck this bitch little shit, man. Like, I don't know why. Like,
You were
just-
pretty arrogant.
Yeah, you said things that, like,
No, I didn't have my braces and shit out when we were in grade 12 and stuff.
yeah, but
yeah,
we're
but
talking
before
grade
that.
12
What
right
you
now.
said? You said
Grade
9,
11, grade
10,
9, 11?
11.
It wasn't
You had
the
your braces
braces.
at
It wasn't
grade
the
9, right?
braces.
We threw Rettel in a deep hole for his
I know,
birthday,
holy
guys.
shit.
It was just
What
like,
I stepped into.
it's also
here,
the
man.
people you hung out with too. I wasn't a fan of a few people you were hanging out with, and you were like,
Okay,
you were
by
saying that-
grade 12.
you were fighting.
By grade 12, that's when we start to hang out in similar circles.
I was warming up to you in grade 12. Lou brought you to my birthday, I think I think right after university. And I'm like, you brought Rettel? I'm like, all right, fine.
I was
fine.
one of
Which
those.
birthday? Which
Yeah.
birthday was
Listen.
it?
It was like right after,
You
like
brought this
right after
motherfucker.
university.
Like, what did we do? What was the? I don't remember.
I think we had
this.
sushi or something.
Oh.
I got fish on rice. It's like 2000 and like fucking.
And I
7.
brought him?
Yeah.
Oh shit, dog!
Was this not the sushi place
You're
on-
you're
at
probably
Retel?
yo,
Yeah.
Oh my god, I remember
Oh.
this.
Yeah. I'm like,
I don't remember like
Lou.
inviting him to your birthday. That's the thing.
But
Like,
you came. I'm like, what the fuck is
Lou,
this guy
you were
doing
probably
here?
at his house finishing Turok for him at that time, and you were like, "Fuck, I gotta go to Billy's house. Just come with
But then
me."
we start hanging out more. I'm like, okay, Retel, like he's changed. I'm like, this guy, like he's actually not a bitch anymore.
Oh, shit.
Like he was
Yo,
all talk. Like
listen,
he was taking
listen.
accountability
The-
to his shit, and like he was being a little bit more
it's
humble.
because we fucking made so much fun of this guy.
Yeah.
We had to bring him down a few notches, man. We had to
and then I'm like,
fucking
okay, he knows how to make fun of himself now. He's
chop
not a
that
bitch.
ego down.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, he's a good guy. At the end of the day, I'm like, okay, and then we
Listen,
start our friendship
guys.
completely.
It wasn't
the-
not too long afterwards. Billy's inviting me to be on his hockey team.
That was a year after
Well-
because I'm like, dude, I started hanging out with you more. I'm like, okay, this motherfucker, he's not taking himself seriously. He's not saying like the arrogant shit. Like
No
I'm okay,
more.
but he was actually joking about it. Like his what's it called? His delivery wasn't like, oh, I'm the fucking best. But he's like, oh, I'm the fucking best. Like his completely
Like
different.
you
Like,
say, I'm extremely good looking.
I'm looking at, dude. That's what my brother always says. He
Or
still
seems
says
to
that.
think that I used to like fire that one off all the time.
You
Dude,
did though. You did. You did.
fucking
You
did.
said that shit all the time.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
This is
all right,
the
man,
Rettel
whatever you
Blow Up Birthday Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, the lesson here is that people change, and that all you guys who are still in high school and who are dealing with douchebags like Rettel, just
Never know,
realize that that's not all the world is. There's a lot of
Yo,
good
in
people
my
out there,
defense,
and
man.
a lot of the bullies and dumb people out there will become pretty chill later on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Rettel was a bully at all,
and
but I'm just saying
obviously
that.
some people can't get out.
Yo,
of that
they were the one giving me shit all the time, dude. I was the victim.
Well, because you were presenting yourself
Yeah,
to be
but-
this.
In my defense,
Then we got
back in high
No.
school, I was really good looking.
yeah.
See, that's why we love you
Shit.
now, man. That's why we
Yeah.
love you now.
Like you were a good looking dude. You were.
I like how we say this past tense.
Yeah.
You're not a bad looking guy now. You're just fucking. I don't know, man. You're just like.
Just that picture tells you everything right there. That's all you need to know. All right, you're pretty
I'm
Jewish guy.
convinced that's your Latino cousin.
Yeah.
That's Brendejo up there.
Pendejo, man.
Tier Stockholm.
What pendejo, man? You know, pendejo is not a good thing. It was a brandejo. That's a new one. Guys, people, brandejo. That's a new one.
Oh my!
Don't forget
God.
it. Someone fucking archive that shit.
So, guys, we are recording 2 podcasts back to back. How deep are we in? We're about 30 minutes into this one.
It's perfect, but you just can't wait to get off this one, man.
No, and so we are going to be taking email questions next episode. So you guys send in emails to thanks, Doug. toptierpodcast@gmail.com,
I'm gonna split this between
and we'll be glad to answer your guys' questions. I think we have a couple already ready to go. Lou, man,
Yes.
you're an actor.
Yes,
I'm assuming you follow the entertainment industry.
I do.
What's going on with all of the sexual allegations and harassment going on in Hollywood?
Well, the crazy thing is it's been going on for so long, and the fucked up thing is like people had shit on these people, but they never came out with any of it, right? They sat on this news that they had. They had, proof. Like there was that one, for example, the Harvey Weinstein one, when they finally
Yeah.
released that. I don't know if you heard the recording of that woman and him. That's like that shit wasn't new. That shit has been around for a little bit, and finally someone put it up. But like they could have put it up when it was new, right? So that's just, none of this stuff is new, but I guess finally people are able to kind of start talking about it, and it started that whole, #MeToo thing where people are feeling more comfortable now to actually speak up, because the fear of not getting work in this industry is a very real thing, right? A lot of people are so scared of that, and it happens to like everybody. Like even like Terry Crews came out and said, "Hey, me too. There's some shit happened to me too." And you think of a guy like Terry Crews, who's gonna fuck with Terry Crews, man? Like I wouldn't fuck with that dude.
Yeah, I remember that story. Some dude grabbed his dick or something like that at a party or
And
something like
he
that.
didn't say anything because he was afraid of not getting work.
Yeah.
Right? He was afraid of shit getting fucked up for himself. You can imagine like a woman, right? And how many all these women in film and in the industry who they just want to work, and they're afraid of if they say something, then they're not gonna get work, right?
Exactly.
But that's kind of what's been going on, and it's been great though that that this movement has
It's true.
started happening, because now people are they feel that they have that voice, that they can actually speak up, and people will support them, and they have been. and things have been shifting and happening, and you know.
Well,
it's
that's
just
why
great.
that's why it feels like it's almost all happening at once.
Mm-hmm.
Because now people are finally like, this is
Yeah.
it's time.
Like it started
what I mean?
some, yeah.
Like and now it's
definitely
just
time,
like a domino effect. That's why
Yeah.
like Harvey Weinstein and then
Mhm.
like Louis C.K. and then like
That one was really disappointing. The Louis C.K. one.
and like dude, I'm a huge Kevin Spacey fan, and then like all of this shit about Kevin Spacey and his defense about it, and like how he's
And
just
the way
deflecting
he handled it,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah, and he tried to turn
Yeah.
it into his own.
Like
coming
Louis
out,
CK's
and
like
it was
he's
what?
trying to play the victim almost. I'm just
Kevin
like,
Spacey, what
come
are
on,
you
man.
doing,
Yeah,
dude?
that's
I
one
love Kevin
thing
Spacey, but
that
it's
like
just
I totally what Louis C.K. did was absolutely terrible, but I
Yeah.
do kind of at least give him a bit of respect for owning up to it
Yeah.
as fast as he did, and he acknowledged it very quick, and he didn't try and deflect it or blame people or almost run away from it. He was just very straightforward with it, and I mean, yeah, it's crazy how his story was just taking advantage of people in the workplace too, right? Where people were, like Lou said, just afraid of not getting work too, and so he was just he was pretty much these people's bosses, and he would ask this question, and they would almost always have to say yes, and yeah, just it's pretty gross for sure.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I was watching this interview, and like Seth Rogen was talking about the Harvey Weinstein thing, and he was talking about like the first time he met Harvey Weinstein, and he was just like, "This is not a good guy." Like
You
he
just
knew,
tell.
right? He was
You
like,
could
"This
just
is
tell.
not a good guy," and he's like, "I don't ever want to have anything to do with this guy in the future," So like people know that these people are out there and that they exist, but no one could ever really say anything because it had that kind of, they're at the top.
And
right?
like on Family Guy, right? I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
about
yeah.
this, but the whole
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey thing, and they made a joke about Kevin Spacey like being into younger men like a long time ago, like years ago.
Yeah.
And so like people knew.
Yeah, because
It's-
these stories go around
Yeah.
Hollywood, right? But people won't speak up about them. They'll tell people, and the rumors will kind of happen. But then no one's gonna speak up and accuse anybody.
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane, right, the creator of Family
Yeah,
Guy.
yeah.
Yeah, he even made a joke about Harvey Weinstein. I
Yeah.
like in
Probably.
a show,
At an awards
Yeah.
an
show,
award show
yeah.
like years ago,
Yeah.
and the fact that the Family Guy's incident with Kevin Spacey happened to is hilarious. You got to kind of give respect for Seth
Dude,
MacFarlane
actually,
to
I
making.
fucking love Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, the
dude.
fact that
Not
he
afraid to go there.
he's
right?
exactly he's not afraid to go
Right,
there
but
and
not
to mention
fully
it,
go, right.
and everyone kind of giggled and didn't mention
yeah,
it again.
There's a
But
lot of awkward laughs, but everyone kind of knew what he was talking about, right?
Because
Yeah.
like,
At
it
least
was
everyone
one
in
of
the industry.
one of his coworkers was like, she mentioned to him that like, this kind of thing happened to him, and that's why he was like, he said he was mad about it, but the best he could do was make a joke out of it, and
Yeah.
not that night. So it's just
Yeah.
like now it's great that people are able to have conversations about it.
Lou, who was the actress who even mentioned the Harvey Weinstein situation in like 2006 or something like
The
that? It
first
was
one?
the very first
I
one.
don't remember off the top of my
okay,
head, to
but
be
she
honest.
she mentioned it in an interview or something.
And then like there was
Yeah.
like all of these girls came out, right?
Well, no, this was like way back. This was an
Oh,
interview
really?
from 2005 or 2006
Oh, fuck, I
where it was
didn't
just
know about
like
this.
the interviewer asked like, "What's the Hollywood advice you can give to any actress who wants to make it in the industry?" And she was just like, "If Harvey Weinstein asks you to come to his room and to talk about stuff, say no." and it was like, what the hell? This is literally over a decade ago,
And that just fell on deaf ears.
and just nobody really took it seriously. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, but now there's a conversation. People can talk and voice their stuff now, which is great because that's
No,
what
it's
we need
awesome.
to do, right? So I mean, things are happening, things are changing, but let's
Yeah.
I don't know.
At least we're talking about it.
people are talking about it. Let's
yeah.
hope actual change happens.
And it's just like it's so disappointing to see like that, man, this is so fucking rooted in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's such a thing. Like it's so common by the like looks of it. All of these huge names are getting outed.
You have the power, right? So
And I know it's totally fucked up, and people like they abuse that power, right? What a huge fucking blow to me. I just found out actually probably about a week ago. One of my favorite bands growing up, back when I was a teenager, especially, they just released a new album after like 8 years. It's a band called Brand New, and
are they brand new anymore?
oh well, they've been around, but and and they were I loved them back in the day, and I still listen to some of their stuff is really deep, it's really good. And they released a new album, and they're doing this their last album. They're gonna do one last tour. I'm just like, oh shit, I kind of want to go and I want to see if I can get tickets. And I Google it, and the first thing that shows up is their frontman. Sexual allegations with he was involved back in the day with like a 15-year-old girl. And I was like, oh, and all of the tour dates got canceled.
Okay.
And I'm just like, man, this is a guy who has been like I've been listening to for literally over a decade.
Yeah.
And it's so much different when it's like, just the type of music that they make. It's very like intimate, and it's like very lyrically heavy, and it's just like it really shook me. I'm just like, holy fuck! I used to listen to these guys so much, and it's like, does it make me? It kind of made me question, like, does this make me appreciate their music any less? Like, what? How do I fucking handle this situation? It was really fucked up.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like, do we separate the art from the artist?
Exactly.
You know?
Like, can you do that, or like, what? Should I still listen to their music? I don't even understand.
Yeah.
It's really
hard to say.
It's rough, man.
Brutal.
Anyways, on to something lighter.
I'm glad we got to talk about it.
No, it's true. It's good. Have you guys been playing? It's too bad Whitney's not here today, man.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, Pocket Camp.
Man.
Billy.
Billy's on that grind.
Yeah.
Billy, I know you've been playing.
Whitney's life has been that. All right, dog.
I just
We have
downloaded it right now. So.
Animal Crossing themed decorations around our house and everything. This is like a temple right now for Animal Crossing, my house.
That's true.
Because it's a serious time in the year.
I imagine your fucking house is just like, because I'm sure Kimmy plays too.
Yeah.
Whitney plays.
Gary's been playing
Gary's
too.
been
So, yeah,
playing.
there's a lot of tech being shared, and Gary too.
Yeah,
he's the guy. He's a friend of ours who plays Marvel. He was also in the 24-hour stream.
Min-max, man.
So he's trying to really break. He thinks he's playing
Min-max
Diablo or some shit. Yeah.
He's trying to find the most effective method to
Yeah.
farm and do everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do I get these tickets real quick? But no, really cool, man. I'm happy that Nintendo's having a successful launch of a game. Like Super Mario Run, people thought it was going to be a huge deal, and don't get me wrong, it did chart and did do well. But Super Mario Run was not nearly the success that Nintendo thought it was going to be.
I think their business model was what the problem was.
Yeah, and to be honest, I was rooting for that business model too. I was more of a fan of like pay $10 for a complete good mobile game instead of paying all these little microtransactions and just spoon feeding me little bits of content, and at the end of the day, it's going to be more expensive.
And I mean, it kind of almost hurts games in a sense, because if people's like, so many like younger people especially who grew up with like apps in their phone and their iPads, whatever, they just expect games to be free.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's like the standard. Like, why is this not free?
Yeah.
It's like, well, fuck, they got to make money. Shit's nothing's free. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's why I'm like the same way. I'm like kind of disappointed. Like, that's like a premium game that they released at like $10.
It is, yeah.
But people are like, no, it's too expensive.
Not too much, yeah.
I can't be paying $10
when you see
shit.
the difference too. I mean, you can even kind of give Rockstar respect for. I mean, there's no other way to really release the Grand Theft Auto games, but they've been released on the iOS store and everything like that. But it's
or like Square Enix, they will release like Final Fantasy whatever.
Yes,
they'll charge like $30
That's
for it, or
$30
some
for it.
stupid
Yeah,
shit like that. It's like, who's buying that?
if it's on sale, like if they were like $10 a piece or $15,
Yeah.
I would buy them.
Yeah,
To
because
play
it's
them on
like
your
a full
phone,
game.
yeah.
It's not like there's microtransactions
Yeah,
baked in. It's like
that's awesome.
yeah.
Being like if you're on the train or something like that, or on a flight and you don't have a Switch or something, just playing on your phone. It's pretty awesome. I gotta kind of commend them for that. But yeah, the prices are a little high for sure.
Especially when every other game on the App Store is free.
Yeah, you have to find a balance between kind of earning things and having to pay for them. I think Animal Crossing, I'm not sure where it's at right now, but I think people give it time and people will really nail that. But it does kind of reward you. You can get tickets other ways. While if you really want to rush things, you just gotta pay money. So yeah.
Have you? What's this? We're getting some Black Friday deals. So FF14.
Great game. I'm telling
Really?
you right now. It's fucking amazing. A great MMO. But
Like, I know me and
is-
Lou,
it
we
is
tried to
really
play
good.
it for a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
FF14.
dude, I'm at
I just didn't want to pay a
No one's-
subscription. That's the only thing. I was just cheaping out. But the game is great.
It's fucking.
Well,
It's
you know what, it is.
But I didn't develop. It took a while to actually be great.
Yes,
I
I
think
remember.
on launch or for the
well,
first
no, they
year.
relaunched it.
I
Right?
got it
Yeah,
at
yeah.
launch.
I remember,
was like, this
yeah,
game is
yeah,
fucking rough, man.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, fuck it, I'm not playing this game anymore. Then they had Realm Reborn, and
Yeah.
it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I do agree though.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, because like for FF14, for instance, it's like you pay for the game, you have to pay to buy it,
It's like, wow.
and then you pay to play online as well. It's kind of a little backwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like most MMOs, they're like a lot of them are just like subscription based, or you pay once and that's it. I don't know.
No, it's like, wow. WoW's been
Like
always
Guild
been like
Wars,
that.
man.
Yeah, Guild Wars is like buy once, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Or like Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls Online, which is one of the bigger MMOs right now as well. It's like pay once and you're done.
Yeah. Keeping player bases for games like that is.
Well, I mean
Is
that's exactly it. It's like it's all about just building up that.
Yeah,
You,
for
like
sure.
those games live and die on
Yeah.
who's playing it, how many people are playing. You know what I mean?
A
So
game-
you can't-
Community.
Yeah.
A game I'm playing right now that's slowly dying, sadly, is Lawbreakers right now, which is I think is such a I still think it's such a fun game, and I'm playing it right now because it's a double XP weekend for it too, and I just popped it back in. And I was like, man, this game was so good.
This game's great.
It just sucks. Yeah, you had
We
a
were
great
playing-
time
me
with it.
and
Yeah,
Gary were playing. We were going hard.
it
on
was
Lawbreakers.
so much fun. You know,
Yeah.
it was a really really good time, and it just kills me to know that games like that are just not doing well right now. But that game just needs to go free to play. It needs to make that push because it's like an all-time low for Steam numbers. On PS4, I'm having an okay time finding matches.
I
I'm
saw
okay.
some stats for it, and I saw it on Reddit or something. There's like 30-something people playing it.
Yeah,
I'm just like, go.
it's terrible. No, like
That's rough, dude.
yeah, like hourly peak sometimes was like 14 people. So
Oh
whoa,
my
it's like,
God.
yeah, it's really really.
There's
rough.
so much competition.
But
out there,
I
dude.
love the. I think the
Especially
game
when
is
you're
so.
trying to take on Overwatch.
Yes,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And for us, I played a good amount of Overwatch. I like Lawbreakers more because I guess I come more from playing games like Unreal Tournament
I'm the
and
same way because
Quake Arena.
Overwatch it's like a shooter / like MOBA all mixed into one.
Yeah, it's a lot
Whereas
about
Lawbreakers
team and-
is like it's really just like
It is. You know, one thing Lawbreakers
shooter
really
first.
messed up on, and even to this day, it's like their character designs are really weak. You know, like really, really like their mascot is the class is called Vanguard, and it's this
Yeah.
chick with like aviators on, and she just looks so stupid and goofy.
I think
like. Not to mention though, the skins they have are amazing. Like they have some really cool skins. They have a skin for the Harrier class, which is literally I don't know if you guys know the anime Guyver. It was also a movie. David Hayter starred in the second one, but Guyver is like so sick. It's one of my favorite series of all time. But they have a skin that's literally fucking Guyver in that game, which I thought was the coolest thing ever. But
I mean, with Overwatch, I think the one lesson that every game can learn from Overwatch is that the waifus sell the game.
yeah, oh, it's
Dude.
true. It's true. Yeah,
Dude,
the
I'm telling
waifus
and like look at League of Legends, like Overwatch, like the cosplay community fucking just rallies behind
It's
these games
true.
because they have such. It's not just the waifus, but it's like just good characters. The good
yeah,
character.
I like
design.
how you keep going like this, like you're trying to.
Yeah, we know what you're trying to tell us,
Retel.
Retel. We know.
But
The
no, it's
waifu.
true. Lawbreakers is very like they don't have any character that's very kind of revealing or
Yeah,
anything.
Well,
stands
I don't
out.
even think that it needs.
Yeah.
None of the characters are memorable.
There are, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a few that are pretty cool, but like most of them are really like they could have done a way better job at this. And I think that's what they lost out on. That's what Overwatch was so amazing at, and
Yeah.
the team at Blizzard gets all
You
the
look at,
respect. Their
like-
characters are so lovable and memorable.
Yeah.
I felt like, you know,
They're great.
Victor Lucas said this too. He's just like, you know, when we knew these characters for a month, we felt like we've known them for all
Yeah.
our life because they did such a good job of making us understand everyone.
You could pick any character from Overwatch's roster, and they're way more memorable than anybody on Lawbreakers.
Oh
roster.
yeah, for sure. For
It's
sure.
a big problem, dude. Especially when you're trying to, because it is class based. It is like hero based, right? You still pick your character, and it's like if none of those heroes are memorable and they all kind of fucking suck.
It breaks my heart, but I still
But the
feel like
gameplay is great.
Gameplay's so fun, dude.
really
I
good.
pop it in, and I'm like, this is so much fun. And I play a lot of shooters, guys. I know that it doesn't seem like that because I don't talk about them, but I play Battlefield 1 still. I still play, you know, Gears. Yeah, I'm a huge Gears nut. I play a lot of shooters, even on the regular, but I just don't talk about them very much. But
Gears
Lawbreakers
and
was like a different kind of fun. It really brought me back to the Unreal days, like I mentioned before. But here's hoping. I think the game just needs to go free to play and needs to really target up a big audience, and I think it could be successful. For
Like,
sure.
There are instances where games have just stuck with it and have become and like grown to be huge successes. You look at something like Rainbow Six Siege or
Yeah.
something like that, or even Warframe. Dude, Warframe is fucking gigantic right now.
It is,
It is,
yeah.
yeah.
And and the game's 4 years old, but it's probably
It is.
bigger than it's ever been.
One thing I don't like about Rainbow Six Siege is that now Ubisoft's as much as they get hate, I really like the company because I've just kind of got to understand them more working at Electric Playground. I just know the people behind it and kind of like their philosophy. They're not a scumbag company at all compared to what we're seeing some of the things EA is
Electronic
doing
Arts.
right now. Yeah, but right now, like with Rainbow Six Siege, because that was a success, they're kind of making that the business model for a lot of their multiplayer games. For Honor is a little bit struggling with that. I mean, I think For Honor is still a fantastic
Yo, I
game.
saw you on the fucking For Honor.
Yeah,
game
I'm playing.
online,
I
dude.
gave it a try because my brother's been playing it so much. So I'm like, fuck, man, you're playing it. Let me just try this again. I tried like season 4 just started, and season 4 is a freaking mess. They just released 2 new characters. It's called the Aramusha and the Shaman.
They're better than everyone else, aren't they?
Well, Armush is all right, but Shaman is like fucking ridiculous. And I got her because I really liked her design initially, but slowly realized that she is absolutely broken. And it's like they need to like so broken to a level that like they need to fix this stuff fast or the player base is gonna die.
Like I don't know if you guys remember, but I released a bunch of For Honor videos earlier this year. We used to play this game a lot.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Boris and Gary.
Yeah.
And no game made. I can't remember the last time a game made me fucking throw a controller.
Yeah, I've never thrown a controller in my life either. Only at a hype. At a hype, I've only thrown only Retel's controllers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Retel.
I got it on tape.
Yeah, it's at a celebration, not at assault. I've never done that before.
It's because I remember.
Yeah.
We're playing Smash. But no, man, like For Honor, there's something about that game.
It is. It's really salty. It's like a rock.
So fucking salty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, it's even rougher now because everyone's gotten so good, so everyone knows how to parry and everyone knows. So the mind games need to have that extra layer where you're trying to like bait the parry. It's kind of cool though. Like I think they're heading in the right direction with some of their new characters. Just like they had the gladiator. I think Lou saw Boris playing against a lot of gladiators. But he's really, really good. But he's actually the perfect direction that the game needs to go to because he has like very low damaging unblockable moves that can check people if they're playing too turtly. Because the initial problem with For Honor was the first few months everyone was just turtling. Because the best thing to do is wait for your opponent to make the first move and then try and parry
Whoever attacks first usually loses.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really fucking turtle meta. But right now they're changing that in the right direction. Shaman is a little too aggressive, like way too easy to open people up. But Gladiator is really good because you can just like toe stab people and just be like, hey, motherfucker, you know, if you're going to keep sitting there, I'm just going to keep toe stabbing you. And it only does very little damage, but you kind of give them that check, that mental check that you have to do something. And that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was something about that game, dude.
Yeah,
like, I was talking to your brother about it. He's like, yeah, this is the most salt-inducing game
It
ever.
is. It's really salt-inducing.
And like, I play a lot of fighting games, especially in the last couple of years. I've been playing a lot of fighting games, but when we in that 1.5, 2 month stint where we played For Honor, I got more messages from people after matches than any other game I've ever played. Yeah, people fucking salty, pissed. You have to throw me in fire to beat me, you fuck.
Yeah,
like,
the one thing I hate about the Reddit community is amazing for it, but it also has a small percentage of the community that's just freaking toxic. Like the amount of there's emblems in that game, and the amount of swastikas and stupid shit you see is like it's absolutely disgusting.
That's fucked up.
But it's overall, I still think the game is great. It's something new. It still was a huge success, I think, for Ubisoft. Like you look at, Marvel vs. Capcom subreddit is like 8,000 subscribers, where the For Honor subreddit is like over 100,000
well,
subscribers.
in all fairness, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Let's not compare anything to Marvel vs. Capcom.
But for real, that game should have been way bigger than it is. Like that's a huge IP
like
for
Marvel
Capcom.
3 was huge. Dude,
yeah,
they re-released Marvel 2 on Xbox 360 and it sold like 2 million copies.
Yeah, you don't mess around with a franchise that big. When you have Marvel, who's just killing it right now with the movie industry and even their comic books, like Marvel's fucking enormous right now, and you have that IP to play with the characters and the world and it's just you can't fuck that up. You cannot you can't mess around with that. You have to put a good budget on it and show that, hey, we're Capcom, this is what we can do.
And it kind of hurts because the game is so fun to play.
It is.
It's one of the most fun to play fighting games I've played in like a very long time.
They nailed the game in terms of gameplay, I think. Little tweaks still need to be made as of every fighting game. I don't think this is very hard to get it perfect. But just like every other world, like I was talking to my friend Gary, and I was just saying, like, there's no, when you beat arcade mode, there's no, like, they have those panels and little comic strips.
Dude. It's gone.
Everything's gone.
There's like literally 5 didn't even have that shit, dude. And like, I want to get your guys' opinion, like Lou and Billy, because you don't really like follow the games as closely as Behr and I do, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what do you guys make of Marvel? Like, is it even on your fucking radar?
No, not,
because the thing about Marvel, it's always been like the most casual, friendly, like it's pick up and play fighting game. Like it's been, like it was huge in the arcades.
Dude, I didn't hear anything until I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? When I came over to your house,
and it was out.
I'm like, it's Marvel. I'm like, what the fuck? Really? I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, and we were. I took Billy through the roster and was like, "This is Hawkeye. He looks like Johnny Cage."
Yep.
I was like,
it was embarrassing.
Oh yeah, some character models, like, don't get me wrong, some character models look amazing, like Nova and a few others, and a few just look so terrible, like
Spencer.
Dante and Spencer.
Honestly, like if if the game looked better, I would have been more inclined to like give it a shot.
Yeah, because
I'm at that point
Tekken.
now. Yeah,
right? You bought
Tekken's
Tekken
great.
7.
Tekken looks
That's
amazing.
right.
And
Yeah.
Rain
Tekken's
makes
fantastic.
I was so hyped when I found out Lou plays Tekken
Yeah.
because
Tekken's great.
Tekken 7 is the best fighting game of the year. I don't care what
100%.
anyone says. Like,
For sure, dude.
Injustice 2 is a close second,
Yeah.
very close second because of the amount of content it provides and
Best
like.
single player fighting game you could probably buy.
Yes, but
Yeah.
fucking Tekken 7 is so good,
Yeah.
man.
And
It
it's
is
so
good.
fun to watch,
Yeah.
man.
It is, yeah.
It's so fun to watch too.
Yeah.
Let alone play, man. But
Did you watch
dude.
the finals, the world finals for?
I did, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
who
was it?
Really
fucking
good.
Who were
amazing.
the two?
I didn't see it all. I just saw little clips of it.
But who were the characters?
The
you
f-
picked?
the guy with Devil Jin, I think, made it really
Wow,
far, and he
yeah.
was kind of like the dark horse of the whole tournament, right? But people thought that he could do really well, but not beat like JDCR and
yeah.
like Knee and a few other
Yeah.
players. Knee is like the player that I always look at because I'm a Steve player, but fuck, that game's great.
He hasn't been
That's-
playing Steve though, really. He's been playing like some Brian and
He plays
Yeah.
Brian. He depends
he's
on the
playing,
matchup.
He's playing Kazuya and stuff too. And I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, he's playing.
He's
Kazuya,
always
dude.
played a bit of.
Kazuya?
He's always played a
Yeah.
pool of 2 or 3 characters.
Yeah.
Before it was always Brian and Steve for
Yeah.
sure, but it depends on the matchup.
Yeah, I feel like
Absolutely.
Tekken's an easier game to just like pick up a new character with.
It is,
I
yeah.
feel like-
And you really look back at just kind of like the rocky launch of Street Fighter V is what really gave a lot of these games the opportunity to shine.
It's like this was this is our chance, boys.
And it was.
Yeah, let's
it was
capitalize.
because Street Fighter V, like Capcom was ruling the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like Street Fighter 4 was everything
Yep.
before. But I kind of almost want to blame esports for Capcom's rocky kind of perspective on things. I think they're always just trying to get things out just so that they can do their pro tour and their
Yeah.
tour and stuff. But which
That's
I'm just
exactly
like,
what happened
man,
in
like.
5, dude.
Make a complete
I'm-
game and then people
And
will
then
come, man.
exactly, and then people will come. I remember the Smash documentary. I think it was the Milk Tea Girl.
Yeah.
She was she's a prominent member of the Smash community, and she said a great line where she said, the casual gamer follows what the hardcore gamers want to do, something along those lines. So you got to really kind of captivate that hardcore gamer, make a really good title, and trust me, that esports stuff and those tournaments will naturally come, and then you can make a pro tour. But don't artificially try and push it, because that's why Street Fighter V was so bare bones, right? It kind of released many months before it was supposed to because they were trying to get a start on the pro tour for that year. And it works to an extent, but like honestly, the esports, we're not getting the numbers right now to really justify releasing an incomplete game.
Yeah.
If we were getting 500,000 to 1 million views, I'd totally be okay with it, but we're not there
Like
yet.
a regular weekend in the LCS gets way more views than like Canada Cup or Capcom
Yeah,
Cup.
yeah.
Like the biggest fucking Street Fighter tournament of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucked up. And Bear, are you gonna we were talking a little bit about it? Street Fighter V Arcade Edition.
Yeah.
You gonna give the game another
Oh,
chance?
of course. Yeah. I mean, I haven't fully given up on Street Fighter 5. I think
Prominent
that,
member of
Yo,
the
you-
Yeah.
you
I mean,
give
I've
it
been
up,
waiting
dog.
for them Road to Uncle.
Yeah.
Like I've been waiting for that shit.
So where's your uncle been down?
Where-
my uncle's. Everyone's been trying to get the uncle nerfed recently. You know that, right? There's been a huge outcry for people
Well,
to
yeah,
nerf Rashid.
Low tier god, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you used to play Hugo and all that shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well,
sure.
Hugo was never really low tier, was he?
I don't. He was first considered low tier, but I never believed he was low
Yeah.
tier. I think Hugo was.
Well,
was
Street Fighter is
great,
one of those
but-
games you can make any fucking character work, dude.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that Street Fighter 5. I mean, there's a huge leak right now about. I can't pull up the list of characters now, but like Sakura and a few characters
that's the
being an Oro, and there's gonna be like a
Oh,
Bro,
no,
Q.
no.
Yeah,
like,
Q.
all
See,
this-
like
Yeah.
the thing about like I don't care about all these new characters they've been adding.
Dude.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's the
That
thing
was-
for me. I
There's
was
a
like,
big
just
misstep,
not
dude.
interested.
There's a
Yeah,
the
big
fact that you're a
misstep.
very casual watcher, Lou, and you say that is like I love it because it's exactly what even the hardcore players have been saying. It's like you do not introduce an entire season of new characters. Nobody gives a
nobody
fuck.
gives a shit.
Like these characters can slowly kind of, be close to us. Characters like Hakan kind of grew on us over
Yeah.
time, but not right away. But you don't just keep introducing all these new
Yeah.
fucking faces and expect us to be like, oh my god, this is Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You have to kind of spoon feed us the new characters. Have a season with 4 returning characters and 1 new character.
Yeah,
Make
Cody's
that
supposed to be
special.
back this season. too,
Yes,
next
and
season.
apparently there's
he-
going to be like the new season's going to be obviously a paid season, and then they're going to apparently have a patch with
free characters.
free
right?
characters.
Yeah.
If this rumor is true, this is a huge step in the right direction for Capcom because so many players are going to come back, give it a try. I don't think Arcade Edition personally is enough to get people back into it. Like,
Yeah,
I'll play it, but
So Mochi just listed the characters here. So Q, Oro, which is already the fact that Q would
just
be
the fact
in
that
it.
those two are coming
Yeah,
back, like,
kind
I
of
would,
insane right there.
I would fucking
Like Q is my
into
boy.
that, you know, like,
Viper, who
played
is
some Oro back in the
Viper's
day.
super popular. Sakura's got to be in it.
Sagat
Sagat,
finally, dude.
Sodom, and they just teased Sodom in a tweet, didn't they? Which was kind of crazy.
I think Sodom
Oh,
is for
my
sure
girl, that
confirmed.
story.
Yeah.
A Bison doll and the girl in Ed's story.
Yo, like we gotta calm it down with the Bison dolls, man. It's just
No more Dick
to-
Parade.
yeah, it's like it's okay, it's cool, but we don't need any new ones. We have enough females. The problem is I think that right now you see the trend where they're trying to make a lot of money off their costumes, and like Chun-Li gets a costume.
Chun-Li and Cammy, dude, just
Yeah,
bought
Chun-Li and
every
Cammy have
fucking
like
outfit.
20 fucking different costumes.
Nice.
'Cause
And
they have the
and
sales data, dude.
While
That's
other characters like Dalsim have like one, I think, so
I know.
far still. Like not
That's my
Ed.
boy.
Yeah.
It hurts me, but he's got the best one. He's got the mummy costume.
Yeah,
it
it's
looks fucking sick.
it's a cool one, but it's just like they're trying to really sell costumes. You just gotta tone it down. Like just keep bringing back characters, and I think you'll see people come back. You
They
know?
buy the costumes for the waifus.
No. If Dudley came out, man, I'd do like a 24-hour stream of just me fucking playing Dudley, not sleeping. Like that's how excited I would be.
We will hold you for that.
Yeah.
Can you do a 24-hour stream playing Ninja Turtles and Injustice 2?
yeah.
Give me a shout out on that
Yeah.
shit, man. You fucking play that shit
You
for
know,
me, dude. I will
need
watch
to still
the
try
whole thing.
Hellboy. I'm just like, man, I gotta really start to keep up with the meta of
Man,
Injustice.
forget,
I think
forget
even-
Hellboy, dude. The Ninja Turtles. You saw that
Yeah,
shit, man?
that's
Come
cool.
on.
You get
You
to
know-
play as all four, man.
Yeah, man.
Well,
You know what's gonna be like? It's gonna be like I told you. It's gonna be like Noob Smoke back in Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat Deception, where I think where you are, whenever you press the normal, someone else is gonna fly out, or a special
Oh my
move, someone's
god,
gonna fly.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't know, but regardless, I have no idea how they're gonna approach it because they're definitely all gonna be one character
Yeah, for
from
sure.
what it seems like in from the trailer.
I don't know if
right?
they'll do it like Triborg or
Don't
something
forget
like
to
that.
give him
but-
like that trench coat.
Yeah, but
man.
there's no styles in this game, so
Yeah,
that'd be
that's
very
true.
very weird. They're gonna fight together somehow. So
That's
I'm sure. I think it's gonna be one character and just
like a
special
trait,
moves.
the trait to switch or something shit like
But
that.
Geese-
Exactly.
For
Exactly.
Tekken, right? Geese is coming for Tekken.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Tekken, man,
Oh.
Tekken.
Tekken Noctis.
Yo,
I
what?
still haven't played
It's
15
like,
because
yo,
I don't have
Noctis?
PS4.
Because like, there's so many
Wow.
guest characters in that game, dude. Like the fact that Akuma, Noctis, Geese,
Dude.
Goose.
Well,
You know,
Namco's killing it right now.
But they
with
look
their-
great in the game.
I mean,
too.
Okada's in it. That's all you really care about. I mean, that's all you really need.
Okada, yeah.
Okada,
Yeah.
man.
Okada reference.
The
His
Rainmaker's the
signature
best,
move.
man.
The Rainmaker.
It's
is
the
there,
best.
yeah.
If you guys don't watch New Japan,
Wrestling. Watch it.
that's the only shit that I'd watch.
Yeah, really good, great year for fighting games overall. Just even like a lot of the news and the announcements. This has been the best year for fighting games that
Yeah.
I've remembered in a long time.
Injustice 2, fucking, Marvel Infinite. But
Yeah.
I mean, I still like Marvel Infinite.
That's good.
but-
Yeah.
And then of course Tekken 7. It's like,
Tekken
when have
7,
you had a
yeah.
year like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
Lay
kind
got
of
cut?
insane.
I haven't even seen the full roster.
Yeah, and just all the news and
Yeah,
like
you
you know
might make
the
it
the
back
talk about
sometime.
Dragon Ball and
Maybe
obviously the new season characters. Street Fighter is just kind of an ongoing cycle.
And so, like with Street Fighter Arcade Edition, like, did you see like the trailer? They added like a bunch of new combo extenders, different like
Yes.
V triggers and shit like that. Like,
yeah, new V triggers is the new talk for
yeah.
sure, right?
But I mean, I just hope it's enough because the biggest problem for me with Street Fighter 5 is that the skill cap for like execution is so low. Like when it's a problem when like I can do the same combo that like a top level player can do. You know what I mean?
yeah, in a match for sure. No, for
Like-
sure
Yeah,
because
why you gotta talk yourself down like that, dog?
Anybody could literally pick up the game and within like the first hour they can do like the highest,
Bro.
most optimized combo.
Yeah, I mean, doing
Retell,
optimized
please,
combos
man.
is okay, but when you really compare it, let's compare it to Street Fighter 4. You have like character-specific combos, right?
Yeah.
Like Ryu had extremely long extensions on Rufus because Rufus's hitbox was different in a certain way, right? Because he's a
It's
fat.
different in a certain
Yeah, he's a fat dude. I mean, this was very common throughout the cast. Like Dudley can do like 3 mediums on
Yeah.
like Dalsim or something like that. Like just crazy stuff, and that kind of doesn't exist in Street Fighter 5. There's very very few character specific things, but everything's kind of like normalized, and you can't really put your expression into your combos.
There's no-
and really, yeah.
You like two people could be playing the same character in like Street Fighter 4 and you can tell which one's
You can
which.
tell, yeah.
In Street Fighter 5 it's indistinguishable.
Yeah, a huge
like-
thing that I think of a
it's a
lot
big problem.
when I do commentary for tournaments is like a player's emotion. You know, you can still see it in Street Fighter 5, you can see it in any fighting game, but in Street Fighter 4 you were really
Yeah.
able to see what someone was thinking of just, kind of the way that they were kind of handling the match, even with combos and movement and small little adjustments.
It's
So,
just like, it hurts like the hype when like you look at something like Moment 37. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Evil Moment 37 is where Daigo parried the whole Justin Wong super.
Yeah.
And it's like that moment is not even possible in Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the game that could possibly be that exciting.
That requires that much
That requires
skill.
that much execution and skill. So it just like that is a huge problem. You know what I mean? There's no moments. There's no hype moments. There's no possibility of those
Definitely.
hype moments.
So I'm looking forward to Arcade Edition. I think that, giving all the characters for free, I think, is their goal,
Yeah.
right? All the Season 2 characters. This is the right
I
direction.
think some of the characters, not all.
Not all?
Or wait, oh, sorry, Season 2?
Yeah, I think
So
Season
I think
2.
all of the I think all of the characters will be free
believe.
upon January.
Okay,
think.
yeah.
Like-
I think so. I think that's what
I think that's what it is.
That's what I was thought to believe as well. And then after that, they can charge as well. And I think people will actually be willing to pay. Like, hell, if they announce the lineup for Season 3 and it's like, what the list here says with Oro, Sakura, and Cody and like, I will pay for the season pass.
Yeah, dude,
I'll support them. But
that
when you're
will-
telling me that, hey, buy a season pass and it's all new characters, like, I don't know what I'm going to invest my money
Yeah.
into. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Because you imagine you pay up front, or like, let's see what kind of characters we
Yeah,
got,
no,
and then
no.
you get Abigail.
Hey, Abigail is a pretty cool Canadian. All right, let's give him some love.
The first Canadian Street Fighter character,
I'm gonna Google this. I actually don't know who's
Abigail. You look at he's from Final Fight, but
Oh.
you look that up, Billy.
He's the biggest Street Fighter character. In
He's bigger than
history.
Hugo. He towers over Hugo.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
Have you guys been playing that Dragon Ball?
Do you know what?
Because like the more I see from that game, the more I'm like, man, this game looks kind of dope. Like seeing that Ginyu Force reveal, I was like, damn.
Dragon
Like,
Ball
I wanna
Fighters.
Get, yeah,
You're
I want to
talking
get my
about?
hands on it with it because like people are
Holy shit.
so some of the people who've had access to it say like it's really fun. It looks amazing.
It
it's
just
great.
looks so
But
good.
it doesn't
too.
have the same level of depth that something
Okay.
like
Yeah.
like a Marvel
So it's
would
just
have.
pretty.
or
It's
something
pretty
like that.
casual. Is that what they say?
Yeah, I've played it about 2 times now, different events. I think one at Comic-Con and then one at PAX, or twice at PAX I played it. It's really good. I think it's really, really good. I think that there is stuff to figure out. Like,
Yeah.
I actually love the fact that it's simple, personally, because I think that this game is going to captivate an audience beyond the fighting game community, and that's
Yeah.
a good thing. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
So I think from there, people will find more crazy mix-ups and crazy kind of little
Sure,
shenanigans.
I mean,
Yeah.
the game's not even out yet, so it's easy for people to
Exactly.
say, "Oh, it doesn't have." The
We
depth."
have to
How do
remember
you
that
know?
when Street Fighter 4 first came out, people
Yeah.
like the top players were thinking that this is the dumbest, most simplest game ever.
Yeah.
And then within a few months, and then time kind of showed that this game is really advanced and has so much to learn. Right? Like
Yeah.
we didn't even understand characters like Sea Viper when she first came out. Nobody knew about the crazy vortex and the burn kick loops and stuff like that. So. Yeah, I think this game, just the way it plays, it shows room for creativity.
Yeah.
So
Because it just
Arc
hits me
System's
right in the nostalgia too, man. Like seeing
Oh,
these
yeah,
characters
dude.
get revealed and stuff, and it's just like,
Like,
oh man,
and I
like,
can't wait to
play
play
it.
my
And
low
then
tier
it just-
team,
yeah,
dude.
and
I'm gonna play
it just
Yamcha,
looks
Tien,
so good.
Krillin. Oh.
Dude, Krillin is the strongest.
Yo,
human in the world.
Chaozu, man.
Chaozu.
Yo, Chaozu, your boy
Oh, man,
Chaozu.
it's all about Cell, man. It's all about Cell.
Yeah, play-
It's like the game itself just looks so good.
It's
Yeah.
great. And when you see the comparisons of how they literally use the manga comic
Yeah.
strips for like how the supers come out.
Like,
and
yeah,
stuff,
people, like-
it is
Nice.
literally frame for
Fuck.
frame.
Like, yeah, they matched it up like side by side comparisons, like fucking like frames in the actual like comic strip or whatever, and then like what Arc System Works has done with the
It's
game,
amazing.
and like it's like fucking.
There's so much
pinpoint accurate.
love and care being put into this game.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of controversy going on with the season pass characters right now for the game. Because
Yeah.
apparently they've already announced like they want to have like a $40 season pass for like 5 or 6 characters.
Bamco.
So yeah, I think they've kind of internally seen like, hey, this game's a hit. People are talking
It's got
about
buzz.
it. Let's try and capitalize on the money
Yeah.
making.
I
So
mean,
hopefully that's not their demise. Right?
And I mean, it's a huge opportunity for like Arc System Works, who I've loved for a really, really long time with like Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now this is probably this is their chance because it doesn't get more mainstream than Dragon Ball. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When it comes
Yeah.
to anime,
Yeah.
so many people will write off Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear because it's anime.
Dude,
You know what I
Blue
mean?
is so good, man.
But those games are great. But when it comes to Dragon Ball, that's the most mainstream anime there is. So this is their chance to really kind of.
Oh yeah, Dragon Ball literally, I think, came back because of the North American audience. I think Super happened because the North American audience was so huge.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong; it's big in Japan, but I think it's much bigger in North
Yeah.
America than it is overseas. So, that just goes to show how big this game could really be, for the community.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I think we're going to wrap up episode 73
Yep.
of the Top Tier Podcast. Again, guys,
Tight.
if you're watching the live stream, we're about to record episode 74 immediately after this. We're going to take
God.
a 5-minute intermission.
5 minutes break, man.
Who are you, Lou? Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Billy. Thanks, Bear. Thanks, Lou.
Hey.
And we'll be right back with episode 74.